out there. In fact, the whole team went in. The trainer and doctors stayed out there with Renee Thompson to get it taped. The word we got when they got into the locker room was, one, that it was a dislocated thumb, and two, he will be back and play in the second half.
Well, the Cowboys thought they had to run against this Giant defense. They haven't been able to do that.
Well, they haven't been able to do anything. I mean, the Giant defense is a great defense, and you're not going to run on them on first down, so you got to get some first down passing and then get the ball, and they haven't been able to do that. The thing that I've been impressed with, Pat, is the mixture the Giants have had. You know, not only of run and pass, they're about half and half, but on the type of, you know, getting the ball to the receivers or running backs. Look, they've thrown 8 times to the receivers, 5 to the running backs, 4 to the tight end. So it's not only that they've had success in that first half, but they've had success moving the ball around to different players in different positions.
And the balance has also been very good.
Well, that's the thing. You know, sometimes the Giants tend to get one-dimensional on you. You know, that they're going to play strong defense, conservative offense. And today, in this first half, they've really opened up the offense.
They've done a good job, no question about it. They've, again, dominated the ball in terms of occupying the clock.
Well, then if you look how they moved the ball around on the pass. Now, here's how they did it on the run. You see that they got 5 yards to the left, 23 in the middle, and their big gainers have been around the right end. They have 46 yards, and they're rushing to the right.
About set to begin the second half with the Giants leading the Cowboys 17-3. Matt Barr will kick it off in the direction of James Dixon and Alexander Wright. This will be Dixon. Cut down by Roger Brown, who replaced, as you'll recall, Renee Thompson in the secondary.
Tell you one thing about Renee Thompson, he can dislocate a thumb on the last play of the first half, and then on the first play of the second half, I'll tell you one thing, he doesn't try and avoid contact. He knows where the ball carrier is. He knows where it's going. There's Jack Del Rio, the big linebacker, and Bill Bates. They're going to double team him. You know that wherever Renee Thompson goes, he's going to draw a couple of blockers.
So it's first down, Cowboys at their own 24. Trailing by 2 touchdowns. Aikman back to throw it. Kelvin Martin, first down, Dallas. Renee Thompson on the coverage.
I think that's the thing that the Cowboys probably talked about in there at halftime is, one, maybe working on that corner over there, not knowing Renee Thompson would be back, but 2, going some play pass and throwing on first down. There's a backup quarterback now. The Cowboys, of course, traded Steve Walsh during the week, so their backup quarterback and only other quarterback now is Babe Laufenberg.
Aikman facing a blitz. And a flag on the play. Aikman was nailed by Gary Reasons. Renee Thompson on the coverage.
Reasons broke straight up the middle, and he was right in Aikman's face before he had a chance to do anything. He just threw it away.
That is the first penalty of this contest.
Illegal contact. Number 20 of the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
The referee, by the way, is Dale Hammer. But he's been very quiet today.
I don't know who number 20 of the defense is. This is 21, Renee Thompson. Giants don't have a 20 on defense or on their team, but I think it was against 21, Renee Thompson.
He chased again. Darrell Johnson, the big fullback, pulled down, shy of a first down by Reasons. They got 9.
You see the guy that was putting the pressure again on Aikman was Gary Reasons. Twice he has blitzed on passes, and twice he has really put the heat on him. Watch, they start to fake. Reasons sees it. He starts back, and then he just comes right in on Aikman.
2nd and 1. The Cowboys at the Giant 48. Smith knocked backwards. No gain. Pepper Johnson made the initial contact.
Well, and again, Eric Howard had a big play in that. If you're going to run against a three-man line, you have to get the nose tackle blocked. And when a nose tackle got big old guns hanging out of his shirt like that, it's tough to get him blocked. You see, and he gets penetrated. See, he knocked the center, Stepnoski, into the backfield. So there's no place Highsmith's going to go. Eric Howard just went boom, and he took that whole middle of the line.
3rd and short. The give is to Emmett Smith. He has the first down. Picked up 3, stopped by Walls.
Eric Howard is turning into one of the best nose tackles in the league. I mean, I think it's kind of, you know, in his 5th year, everything has fallen together for him, and he kind of figured out how to play this. Stepnoski's a 2nd-year center, and what Eric Howard did last time, it played his snap hand, his right hand, because you have to snap it with your right hand and get it back, and Howard always took his right shoulder.
Look how close he gets to it.
Yeah, he gets paint to paint.
What was wrong with that play? Aikman just threw it away. They were trying to run a screen to Highsmith.
I'll tell you, that's one thing that drives coaches nuts is when the announcer says something's wrong with that play. And you've been working all through training camp and practicing all week for it. Something's wrong with that play. That was ugly.
Could have something to do with Stepnoski being worried about Eric Howard, what you were talking about a minute ago.
Especially when he's taking your shoulder, your snap hand.
Emmett Smith going nowhere. Dorsey, Banks, Washington. Loss of 5.
You know, Everson Walls was talking about this defense. He was brought over from the Cowboys, and he said, you know, they don't expect the offense to gain anything. Taylor played that one great. He said everyone is supposed to be on the tackle. He said the linebackers are aggressive, and he said any new player that comes, it just permeates into the team.
3rd and 15. Aikman is going to have time, but he won't get a first down. Stopped at about the 41 is Kelvin Martin. Pickup of 8.
Of course, that's a tough thing when you're 3rd and 15. You not only not get a first down, but you don't get your team in field goal position, and they have to punt. And these Giant fans understand all of that.
Mike Saxon, who's had a tough day, came into this game leading the league. But the presence of Meggett makes you change everything.
Well, he was trying to directional punt, kick it away from Meggett, and he's had 2 shanks.
Now Saxon does the job this time. And James Dixon down to down it. The Giants will take over inside their own 5 with 10:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. MetLife blimp hovering overhead, travels over 10,000 miles a year. Covers network sporting events around the country. And it furnishes some spectacular shots. At the 6, 1st and 10. Sims going to work. That one was for our CBS Sports sign.
Well, what happened there is Isaac Holt came up in a rotation and bumped the receiver that Sims was going to throw to. And if he would have thrown that ball when and where he was going to, it would have been an interception. Isaac Holt was right there.
So it brings 2nd and 10 from the 6. Lewis Tillman knocked down behind the line of scrimmage by Ken Norton.
Well, the Giants tried to fool them. They had all their strength over the left, and they tried to run to the right. And Kenny Norton came on a blitz. He's coming on what you call a run blitz. Watch 51. See, he's just filling in there. He's blitzing through the hole. He was blitzing through the hole to the side that they were running.
So it brings up 3rd and 14 from the 2.
This is where the Cowboys need a big defensive play. They have to get either a stop here or a turnover could be a score for them.
Well, they go with that 3 tight ends setup. Tillman is standing in the end zone, the running back. Now Carthon moves to the other side. Tillman is hit right at the line of scrimmage by Dean Hamill. Maybe got a yard.
Remember Dean Hamill when he used to play for the Redskins? They call him the Tasmanian Devil. He used to run down on kickoffs and coverage. He was a wild man. Raided over him, and he's very good against the runner. Not a big pass rusher, but he's good against the run.
Landetta standing back at the back of the end zone. Rod Harris back deep for Dallas.
This is a good time to come on a block.
Landetta gets off a good kick. And Renee Thompson. He's hurting, but he's there.
And that's why he's the best. In fact, as I watch him the last 2 years, he may be the best that has ever covered kickoff because he's a marked man and punts, and everyone knows he's coming down. They're all after him, but he still whips them.
44-yard punt by Landetta. Inside the Giant 30. Emerson Walls made the stop. A gain of 23 yards.
One thing about Aikman today, he's had pretty good protection, and I think that this guy is going to be a heck of a quarterback. And, you know, it's just a matter of time, not only for him, but for his teammates, you know, where he gets a full deck to play with. Because he can stand in there and he can throw that thing.
The Giants have put Perry Williams at the right cornerback where Walls did play and moved Walls to the left to replace Renee Thompson. Caught at the 10 by Kelvin Martin. 18-yard gain.
And that's
Jackson
the side
Walls.
that they're working too, Pat. You know, Renee Thompson got hurt just before the half, and the Cowboys came out, and most of the passes they've thrown have been on that right side. You know, the guy that could have made the play there was Greg Jackson, the safety. He looked like he pulled up. Had he run through that or run through that ball, it could have been a heck of a collision.
1st and 10 at the 10. That's Emmitt Smith. Down to about the 3. A pickup of 7.
Isn't it amazing how the success on the pass loosens up a defense? You know, the Giants were up there stuffing that run, stuffing the run. Aikman hits 3 in a row, and now the whole defense loosens up.
2nd and goal now from the 3. Dennis McKinnon split out wide to the right. Emmitt Smith, touchdown Dallas.
This is a guy that Jimmy Johnson says is going to be a heck of a player. I think one of the few times he gets excited when he's talking about his players is when he talks about Emmitt Smith. Of course, he missed training camp. He was a #1 draft choice. Didn't work with the team, but he said the guy just has great natural talent to run. That's some move right there.
That's his first NFL touchdown. Willis to try the extra point. Novacek holding. And the Cowboys move to within a touchdown. It's 17-10. The Giants with 7:01 left to play in the 3rd quarter.
Brawl. Packers, Bears, Sunday, Bloody Sunday. Next weekend, 12:30 Eastern.
Giant Stadium, 7:01 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Giants lead Dallas 17-10. Willis will kick off. Meggett and Hampton will be back deep for the Giants. Brought down by Bill Bates.
You know, as we watch this I formation and a touchdown, you're going to see Emmitt Smith in there and Alonzo Highsmith, 32. One of the reasons they traded for Highsmith was his blocking ability. And watch that lead. Boom, he gets a lead right there, and you see Smith right behind it run off the lead. Once they got Emmitt Smith, they felt that they needed a blocker, so they went out and traded for Alonzo Highsmith.
First down Giants at their own 25, leading by 7. Anderson is the setback. Mims gets it out to Anderson. Another screen pass. Out of bounds after coming very close to a first down. Hit by Ken Norton.
You know, it's not only Rodney Hampton that runs the screen, but everyone is running the screen well on this team. Watch, you see, you block, 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 then you let them go, then you come down the line, and right there is the screen. You see it? Boom, you get the block there. They knock Kenny Norton down, and that gives you the first down. What you do is you block, make it look like a pass, run down the line, form the screen on the outside.
They need about a half yard for a first down. Anderson will get it. Jeffcoat came down the line to stop him with Noonan. Picked up 4.
Watch your blocking by Moore here. You start out the right guard 60. You see, he allows penetration. And what happens there is then that play there, that's the thing that makes Otis Anderson make the move, because he let Hamill get in there. But Otis Anderson saved Moore on that play.
And gets the Giants a first down. Ingram is the man in motion this time. Sends, fires to cross in Cowboy territory. Vince Albritton knocked him down, but a pickup of 21.
Well, there's that seam pass we're talking about where you just run your tight end right down the seams, then you run your outside receiver on the outside seam, and if the safety goes over, boom, you just hit the tight end. The Giants in the last 5 years have made a living on that pass.
Over and over again.
But remember the year they went to the Super Bowl? Yep. That was the thing they were always throwing to Bavaro.
Right. First down at the 42. Anderson with a good cut. And picked up good yardage because of that. 6 he got.
Yeah, that was a great cut. There were 2 Cowboys that weren't even blocked over there. And they came through the line of scrimmage, and they're both free standing there. And he shoots them some air. Watch him. There's 2 Cowboys right there, 2 free guys. He runs right by him. What is this? And then they don't tackle. Oh, boy, that's terrible. I mean, you got 3 guys out there that aren't blocked, and Otis Anderson shoots them some air.
And gets 6 yards.
Yeah, that's either great running or poor defense.
That was just a great cut. We were talking about that earlier. Anderson again. Close to a first down. Norton made the stop.
Yeah, if you look at what the Giants have done offensively, they're just about even, you know, with the type of thing. They've run 21 times and passed 20. You can't get a better mixture than that as far as 50-50 is concerned. The offensive line is really controlling the line of scrimmage. They're using all their running backs and receivers today and have great mixture.
They also have a first down.
Now, I think when you think of the good teams in this conference, you have to think of the Giants, the 49ers, the Rams, the Bears. These are the guys we're talking about, I think. The Eagles. I still like the Redskins.
Sims will throw a flag on the play. Sims caught in the backfield by Jeffcoat. But a penalty marker down. I think maybe Otis Anderson moved.
Illegal motion. 2 men moving on the offense. The penalty is declined. Second down.
They'll take the sack and decline the penalty.
That's one thing. You know, you can have one guy in motion, and then you can have 2 guys move, but if they move, one guy has to set for a second before the ball snaps.
2nd and 16 now. That's the first sack of the day. Meggett split wide to the left this time. Baker back to about the 23-yard line. A 13-yard pickup, 3 short of the first down.
This is what the Giants are doing so well in this game, Pat, is they have thrown to 9 different receivers. You know, they're not one-dimensional. They're using their wide receivers today, as we see Baker catch that one. They're using their tight ends. They're using the backs, and Phil Simms is almost perfect today.
Brings up a 3rd and 3 situation.
He doesn't like that play, though. You see that? Guys, you know, when they're sending in plays, a quarterback, if he doesn't get it right away, will get frustrated because now he has to rush.
Good cut again by Anderson, and he dives for the first down. James Washington tripped him up.
Oh, and the fans are watching that spot. They know their football here. They see the spot, and they know that they didn't give them the first down. Bill Parcells is saying, is it 4th? I'll tell them right up in here it's 4th. Watch this move. You get the penetration from the outside. Cross does a nice job of blocking Norton. Again, either poor tackling or a cut. Now that ball there should be on the line there. That should be on the line of the hash mark. It was just a little short of the line. See where they marked it? And I think that's going to leave him a little short of the first down, too. Just that much.
About a foot.
You know he's going to go for it.
Yep.
You see what he said? He just said, go ahead. I would say this one, they bring in another lineman. They put Carthon in the backfield. Now Carthon's going to be there to lead block for the tailback. I'm sure he'll get the ball.
And William Roberts will be the tight end on the left. Anderson got it. Two yards. They needed a foot. Lockhart on the stop.
You see that look of satisfaction on Bill Parcells' face and his whole body language. There's nothing that is more satisfying than picking up a first down on 4th down, nor is there anything that's more relieving when it happens.
17-10, the Giants lead. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line of the Cowboys. Anderson. A yard, maybe 2. Lockhart the first to hit him.
Yeah, we were talking about their distribution. Look, they're 5 to 10 to their wide receivers passing wise, 5 for 5 to the running backs, 5 for 6 to the tight end. So that is great distribution.
That's what you look for. It'll bring up 2nd and 8.
And that's why they're so tough. They're so tough on defense, and then on offense they don't make mistakes and they just control the clock.
Well, that's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The Giants 17, the Cowboys 10. Ready to start the fourth quarter at Giant Stadium. 17-10. Giants lead, but they're at the Cowboy 19. They've kept the ball 27.5 minutes. The Cowboys 17.5 minutes. Total yards are pretty even though.
Well, that's what they do so well. The Cowboys get the ball and they start to threaten, and then boom, they just take them out of the game with a long drive.
Sends the throw. Down by Lockhart and Jeffcoat. Second sack.
One of the things they wanted to do in the NFL, Paul Tagliabue, is to shorten up these games, and in 3 quarters, Pat, they've really shortened
They've done a good job here.
I know, and I think that sometimes in doing so, they've taken plays out of the game. Let's just look. After 3 quarters last year, the average number of plays was 117 plays. Today, we've had 89. So that's what, 27 less plays, 28 less plays. And I think that's the complaint most coaches have. You're getting fewer plays, fewer opportunities, and then not enough time at halftime.
3rd and 16. Sim to Hampton. Touchdown.
Yeah, we'll see here, if we just let it go, we'll see the seam pattern, and we'll see what a seam pattern is. You see motion there. Now Hampton is going to come out, and if we can stop it right here, we see Hampton here. This is the seam caused right here. He runs right down into that seam. See, right between the zone. He just outruns it, and Sims hits him perfectly. They are the masters at that, the seam pattern and throw it to. It's usually the tight end. That time, it was Rodney Hampton running the same seam pattern. There aren't a lot of teams that throw that because it takes a lot of timing. I think they're taking a look at this play. I know earlier, Mark Ingram scored one, and they didn't take a look at it. They didn't see another angle, and he was out of bounds, and they gave him the touchdown. Watch Hampton again, right down the numbers. Now, the only thing they can be looking for is to see if he was down by contact before he got to the end zone. Is his knee down before the ball breaks the plane? That's what they have to be looking at right there. Because the catch is legal, everything is fine. The replay director is Jack Fetty. He was on the rightmost part of that screen. And again, they missed one in the first half when Mark Ingram caught the pass out of bounds. And this one, there can't be any question with the catch, but it's just, is he in the end zone before his knee's down? And it looks like to me that the ball, again, is the key. Does the ball break the plane? Down by contact when the knee goes down.
After further review,
I think it's a touchdown.
The play stands. Touchdown.
The play stands. No question, but the ball broke the plane. The question was his knee down before that happened? Barr's extra point is good. We'll return to Giant Stadium after this message from your local station. O.J. Anderson conducting an instructional clinic.
I know it. He is coaching everyone. Hampton's the guy who just caught the touchdown, and he's telling him what else he could have done.
Dixon at the 7.
Okay, here we go, fellas.
Well, it's that time of year. Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, live coverage of the National League Championship Series, Game 1, here on CBS. Cincinnati Reds have won the West and await their opponent, which most likely will be the Pittsburgh Pirates. First playoff appearance for both teams since 1979, when the Pirates beat the Reds and went on to win the World Series. That's Thursday night at 8 o'clock here on CBS.
What we're just seeing here, the Cowboys do, I think they're the only team in football that does it. Maybe the Cincinnati Bengals do, where they line up, their first huddle is on the sideline.
Aikman gets it to Emmett Smith. He's hit by Renee Thompson and Pepper Johnson. Almost a 10-yard gain.
I don't think you ever had a question if Renee Thompson is a tough guy, but if you did, you won't ask that question anymore. Here's a guy who's out here on every defensive play, playing corner, which is tough. Every kickoff coverage, punt coverage, first guy down. Guy ought to get paid. I'm sure they won't be happy with this comment, but he ought to get 2 game checks.
No, they probably won't.
Well, I mean, Renee Thompson will. His
Oh, yeah, he'll like it.
family would, but Wellington Mara and that group wouldn't be. George Young wouldn't be.
Couple of inches short of the first down. 13:55 left to play.
Offensive linemen are a rather sedate group. You notice that?
Yep.
A satisfied group. They like that. Linemen like when they see those numbers. Time of possession 27-18.
Alonzo Highsmith got enough for the first down, but that's about all. Leonard Marshall made the tackle.
See, look at those linemen. They all come in. They all sit together, the offensive linemen. They don't say much. They're not an outgoing group. They don't make speeches. They just kind of talk over their heads a little. You know, they'll spit once in a while, usually on themselves, and explain things. Defensive linemen, they're crazy. I did this, I did that, slapping each other in the head and stuff.
Totally different character. Here's Aikman. Gets it out to Novacek. Novacek outside the 40 to about the 43, a pickup of 7.
Leonard Marshall almost had Aikman. In fact, Leonard Marshall isn't starting now, but he gets a spinner in there. See if we can see him. Watch 70 right there. Boom, he hits. You see the spin? Then he comes around and the same thing, gets out of the spin, straight up the middle, and he's just about there when Aikman gets rid of the ball. Big Leonard, he likes those spinners.
2nd and 3. Smith, flag on the play. He got enough for a first down. Pepper Johnson dragged him down. But a marker down. Holding against the Cowboys.
Yeah, Bill Parcells was saying that the 2 guys on the defense that have really come into their own thus far have been Pepper Johnson and Eric Howard.
Holding, number 66 of the defense. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
66 is Kevin Gogan. Jimmy Johnson was telling us last night that he planned to alternate his guards. The first set, the starting set, would play 1 3/4, and Gogan and Giesick would play 2 and 4.
Yeah, and the reason that is because he's really not satisfied with any of them. It's not that he's trying to keep anyone fresh or rested. He just doesn't like the play of any of his guards so far.
2nd and 14. Reverse to Kelvin Martin. Played well by Pepper Johnson. Only a 2-yard gain.
Pepper Johnson loves that because they got fooled on that reverse the first time. It was the same reverse, same play. They got to run there. Now every coach is going to say, look, when the ball goes away, hold your own. Check the reverse, check the reverse. And then when a guy does it like Pepper Johnson, then he got the coaching from the first half.
3rd and 12 at the 35. Darrell Johnston is the lone setback. Aikman picked off by Perry Williams. Intended for Wright.
I'll tell you who caused that one is Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor got a heck of a rush. Watch him. He's going to come from the right up the middle there, 56. Now he's going to hit Aikman just as he throws the ball. You see, Aikman couldn't see his receiver, and he couldn't step forward. And that was the start of the interception right there with Lawrence Taylor.
Right in his face.
And you see when the guy's in the face, you see what happens? The ball ends up short. It was interesting now. We just saw Lawrence Taylor talking to Bill Belichick, and there was so much talk about him not being out in the last play, whether they're going to take him out at the end of the game in this game. I would bet that could have been Lawrence Taylor's last play.
I bet you're right. Here is Jeff Hostetler. The screen passes to Anderson. O.J. Anderson outside the 45, stopped by Washington, but 13 yards gained.
Well, I guarantee you, with Hostetler in there for Phil Simms, Lawrence Taylor won't play anymore, and I think the Giants really feel that they got the Cowboys now.
That's Eugene Lockhart, the injured Cowboy.
Eugene Lockhart, one of the bright spots on this team. You know, the leader every year in tackles.
10:47 left to play, with the Giants leading 24-10.
505, 506, and 540 G's.
To summarize, Dallas has had the ball 20 minutes, 59 seconds. The Giants 27-58. Aikman 13 out of 17, Simms 16 out of 22. Ingram in motion. Hostetler back to throw, and Chase out of the pocket. He's a fine athlete. Albritton and Norton. But he scrambled for 15 yards.
Well, again, it was that bootleg pass, and they put Norton in the vise. If Norton stays back, he's going to throw it. If Norton comes up, he'll throw it. If Norton goes back, he'll run it. Watch him as he comes out here in the bootleg fakes. Comes out. Now watch 51. You see, he's keying on him. When he stayed back, then that was Hostetler's key to run it.
First down, Giants at the Dallas 39. Anderson hammered by Hamill.
That was the
2-yard
second
gain.
time they're having trouble with that. They're still working on the side on Gene Lockhart. It was his knee. It was hurt towards the end on a play, and they just took him out and then brought him over, and they're still checking the knee.
Willis Crockett has taken Lockhart's place as the middle linebacker. Anderson has carried 17 times for 78 yards. Roussan and Hampton are the two running backs now. Hostetler to throw. Gets it to Roussan. Roussan inside the 25 to the 24.
I think the Giants have the Cowboy defense where they can do anything they want to them. Hostetler coming back, you see both backs checking and then going through, where you just check like you're going to block and then you run right through. That's what Roussan did. I think it's smart to get Hostetler out of there, or in there, not only to get Simms out of there, but you got to bye next week, and your backup quarterbacks get a little time to play. So you're killing a bunch of birds with one stone here.
1st and 10. Giants at the Cowboy 24. Tillman is the setback. Inside the 20 to the 18. Stopped by Norton.
I think the most impressive guy to me today in this game was Renee Thompson, but the second guy was Otis Anderson. You know,
Boy.
you keep thinking he's just hanging on there, but I mean, he not only plays well, but he looks like he's getting younger and fresher.
And faster.
Right, and then these other guys come in like Tillman here, and you know, the thing is worn down. They've watched the old master do it, and then they come in there and they just take over. I mean, this guy has to be an inspiration to this team, if not by words, just by the way you play the game.
Not many running backs play the game as long as he has.
And still makes the cuts that he does.
Tillman. To about the 11, a pickup of 6, tripped up by Albritton.
This is when it's fun to play, when you get down in this situation. You got the defense, you got them where you want them. Of course, Phil Simms is a guy that was very beneficial to get him to that position. See, he's 16 for 22 and threw 3 touchdowns. Now he not only has the rest of this game off, but the Giants have a bye next week. So this will be a big plus. You go into your bye 4-0, you can't ask for anything better than that.
The NFC West has the bye this week, all 4 teams. Flag on the play.
Old Hostetler gave him that hard count. You see that? He gets down there and he's trying to get some yardage in there, pick up a 5 yards to get 1st and 5.
Offside. Number 96 of the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Daniel Stubbs.
Jimmy Johnson thinking, well, we fell for that one. The backup quarterback comes in and gives you a hard count. We all jump offside.
There's Hostetler. 6:25 left on the game clock. Less than that now.
Of course, Hostetler, you know, he's a 7-year veteran. We're not talking about some young quarterback who's never played the game here.
On 1st down, Tillman hit in the backfield by Willis Crockett.
Yeah, that's a perfect name for a Dallas Cowboy. I mean, I think Willis Crockett, if the Cowboys, you know, when they get good again, if they had this guy playing linebacker, it'd be good. Who's a linebacker for the Cowboys down there? Old Willis Crockett. Willis Crockett's a linebacker for the Cowboys. It's, you know, a character they write books about.
He just had another name, a 3rd name, like Dewey Willis Crockett or something like that.
Or if the Cowboys would trade for Billy Joe Tolliver. Billy Joe Tolliver and Willis Crockett went out after the game.
Hostetler got away from the blitzing Cowboys and is going to get into the end zone. 12 yards out. Hostetler gets it in.
Yeah, you got the big pass rush, and then after he dodged it there, right there, he's going to say, look what I found here. When he comes out of it, he got a big block just before he ran there. Someone got hit, and the first thing that hit was the back of their head. But once he got through all that stuff in there, he had a straight shot to the end zone. The way Bart Oates is smiling, I wouldn't be surprised if it were he that picked off that guy.
Might have been. He was in that area. Barr's extra point is good. So with 5:20 left to play, the Giants are in command 31-10.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? AT&T, the right choice. And by Keystone and Keystone Light, bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
Dixon to return the kickoff, but not very far. Dave Duerson made the stop.
That it was Bart Oates. Watch Oates. He's right here, and he's going to get Tony Tolbert, and that's the play that is going to free Jeff Hostetler. But watch it right there. I mean, that's the play that the first thing that hit was the back of Tolbert's head, and that opened that lane for Jeff Hostetler.
And Hostetler, as we said, is a fine athlete, took advantage, scrambled in from 12 yards out.
And Bart Oates is still on the sideline talking about his block. You know, you kind of look for those things. You don't get them. You know, the guys can't see out of their ear holes. And when you can see their ear hole, they usually don't see you.
Here's Aikman. Novacek and nothing doing. Lawrence Taylor still playing.
Now, this surprises me. I mean, I think you could say, you know, last week, well, no one thought about it. We didn't get him out of there. They've already taken Phil Simms out. I don't think they were wrong last week for not taking Taylor out. I think that's just second guessing. But I would think that this week that these coaches, Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells, don't want Lawrence Taylor in there now, but he wants to be in there to prove something.
Aikman's throw. Caught by Novacek. One-handed. Pickup of 7. Now, one of the writers during the week. Look at this catch by Novacek.
That looks like one of those things they call the pirouettes. What do they call it? Yeah, those things that those ballet dancers do.
You're asking the wrong guy.
Pirouettes.
Anyway, one of the writers asked him why he was in the game, and he said, do you stop writing before the game's over?
That's right. He's a football player, and there's a football game going on, and that's why he's in there.
3rd and 4, the draw play to Emmett Smith. Enough for a first. Pepper Johnson brought him down.
And I'll bet you again this call was Lawrence Taylor's call, you know, because it got such play last week about him being in there last play. Why was he in there? That he's going to show him that he was right for being in there. And that's the kind of guy he is.
Aikman to Smith.
You know, one of the other things on that, Pat, last week that I think is a heck of a thing in Taylor, you know, talking about Lawrence Taylor and what a great player is, that he was capable of pulling a hamstring on the last play of the game. Because you have to exert a heck of a lot of effort to pull a hamstring.
To Smith again. Would be enough for another Dallas first down, 8 yards. Duerson made the stop. 3:40 left to play. 31-10 Giants. Smith, another one-handed catch. Aikman. 17-yard pickup, stopped by Jackson. Smith heard something. Or just got tired, one of the two.
Well, I think he's been frustrated. I think his feelings are a little hurt because this Giant defense has really, for most of the game, had the clamps on him.
Darrell Johnston in the game. There's a flag on the play. Dennis McKinnon. I beg your pardon, James Dixon.
Well, they had to call something out there because Roger Brown had a collision before the ball got there. I think the official knew that, you know, it probably has to be interference if Brown hits the receiver before the ball gets there.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 46. The ball is awarded at the spot of the foul.
First down, Dallas. Coordinating producer for the NFL on CBS is Charles H. Milton III. Produced today by Bob Stinner. Directed by Sandy Grossman. The NFL Today produced by Eric Mann. Directed by Duke Struck. Senior producer is David Winter. And the executive producer, Ted Shaker. Aikman in the direction of James Dixon. Coming up next, the NFL Today, the postgame show with scores and highlights from around the league. So stick around.
Well, you know, we were talking about the good teams in the league. The Giants, of course, being one of them. Dallas, we know, have 14 picks in the first 2 rounds or the first 3 rounds in the next 2 years. But some of the other good teams had buys today. I mean, I still think the 49ers are one of the top teams. The Rams are one of the top teams. They're both not playing this week.
Aikman, Novacek. The NFC West and their records, they have the buys this week.
Well, you know, it's an advantage for the Rams, I think, because they're beat up. It's also a big advantage for the Saints. The Saints aren't a bad team. They have quarterback problems. They made a trade this week for Steve Walsh. They have a bye week. I think that's a plus for the Saints also.
Novacek having a good day, down to about the 7, stopped by Durison.
Yeah, and I'm impressed with Aikman. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of chances. He didn't have the ball a lot today because of the job the Giants have done both offensively and defensively. But for a second-year guy, he sure has a lot of cool.
First and goal from the 7. Touchdown. Novacek.
I mean, when this guy gets all the players in place, Aikman's going to be a star in this league. And you just hope that while they're doing that, while Jimmy Johnson and his group are doing that, that he doesn't get too beat up or hurt or frustrated or any of those type things, because the guy really is a confident guy now.
Novacek has caught 9 passes for 85 yards and that touchdown. Willis for the extra point, with Novacek holding. That makes it 31-17 Giants with 1 minute and 58 seconds left to play. Dallas 17. Onside kick.
I don't know. I would think not. I mean, if I were them, down 31-17, you're building a team. You got a young team. The way he's putting it there in the tee or not on the tee, that is an onside kick, so he's going to kick one. But I don't think I would.
We'll put a bunch of guys over here. Out of bounds. They had a shot at it.
Yeah, they did, but I think when you're trying to build a team,
re-kick with a 5-yard penalty.
You know, that you just try and get out of it. You try and keep everything solid. They're not going to win the game anyway.
Penalize them 5 yards. It's still got to go 10 yards if they choose to try it again.
Yeah, I tell you one good thing about that. Jimmy Johnson is here, and he's just hoping to get it. I'll tell you, if his team that were covering it was excited as he would, they would have come up with that ball. But, you know, that last drive gives Bill Parcells something to complain about for 2 weeks. You know, how the Cowboys took it to you. You had him. You couldn't stop him. The guy drove right downfield. You know, your defense is nothing. You know, that gives them 2 weeks to preach that one.
They're going to try it again.
Come on back a little bit, Vincent. There you go. No. There it is.
I think they touched it before it got 10 yards.
Well, yeah, because the one official threw his hat, and he threw with a hat at the point that it was touched, and it was before 10 yards, so the Giants will get it there. See that when an official throws a hat, that means that he is spotting something. See, the Cowboys can't touch it till it goes 10 yards. They touched it right there. And then the hat comes out, boom, and then the Giants get the ball.
1:58 still remain. Giants 31, Cowboys 17.
You know, one thing about this game, Pat, that we haven't had, you know, it's going to be a quick game, but there hasn't been a timeout call. There was no timeouts called in the first half, and maybe they're just going to play this whole game. That may be some kind of record. No timeout.
Very few penalties. Hostetler gives to Tillman. Chased down by Albritton. Next week, the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern gets it all rolling. And then the rest of the game, San Francisco, Houston, New Orleans at Atlanta, Tampa Bay at Dallas. And then most of you will see Green Bay at Chicago, which is where John Madden and I will be.
Yeah, you can't beat that in October, being at Chicago, Soldier Field. The Bears go into today 3-0. Reading where Mike Ditka says they got a new team now. They wrote team on their sleeve. They're all wearing team. You know that the team is a thing, and well, it's gotten them off to a good start. Leonard Marshall's having something else done to his sleeve.
2nd and 7. Here comes Hostetler. Jim Jeffcoat chased him down after a 6-yard roam.
He was looking for a block out there from Stephen Baker, and he didn't get anything. Defense is still meeting in there. Tillman's in here running out the clock.
40 seconds left.
Bill Parcells was saying about Tillman, he just makes one cut and run. He said he makes one cut and then you wait for the glass to break.
3rd and about a foot. Tillman didn't get the first down, but that doesn't really matter. Lost one. A good day for Phil Simms.
A good day for all the Giants. I think they, you know, as a team, when you put everything together, their defense, you put their special teams, their offense, I think it was as close to perfect as a team can be at this point of the season.
So they'll have a bye next week, and they'll go into the bye week 4-0.